The 7900 XTX versus Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Mr. MCP76 here, and in this video we're going to go ahead and take a look at the performance of AMD's Radeon RX 7900 XTX against Call of Duty's latest game, Black Ops 7. Let's go ahead and hop into the settings and confirm what we'll be using for the game. So we are playing this game at 4K, so 3840 by 2160p. And we're going to be using FSR3 here, but initially we'll just use FSR3 native, so 4K quality, no upscaling of any sort. We're just using FSR3's AA implementation. And we'll also keep ray tracing here at high, no frame generation for now, and all our settings here are maxed out. The CPU that we're using is an i7-13700KF, and the specific GPU we're using is the Sapphire Pulse AMD Radeon RX 7900 XTX. Both the GPU and CPU are running at stock performance. Alright, so the game mode we're going to play in is multiplayer here to see how what kind of performance we'll get. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I suck at this game, but I will, of course, choose the ability to blame the low FPS on my lack of skills. Alright, let's go ahead and hop in and see how it goes. Alright, we're in the game here. Right off the bat again with max settings. We're not looking good, guys. Here we've got 15 FPS. 15 FPS, 4K native, ray tracing set to high, and all settings set to max. We are not. This is horrible. How am I going to play? Look, I suck at this game to begin with, but I am not sure how I'm going to pull this off. I mean, it's going to make it even worse than usual. Oh. Yeah, again, I'm blaming FPS there. I'm going to blame FPS there, but where CPU utilization is at, let's see, GPU utilization is 100% as expected. CPU utilization is about 18 to 20% utilized, and FPS right now is just bad. This is really bad.
Hardpoint identified.
Oh. Ouch. And yeah, definitely, I think the GPU is definitely not going to give us any more power than, any more performance than what we're getting out of this now. This isn't going to be how you want to play this game anyway, right? If you're playing online multiplayer, you are not playing like this. This is I think even with the 5090, it was shown that you can barely hit 60 FPS with these settings. So, oh. Wow, this is bad. As far as the GPU utilization goes, again, about 100% utilized on the GPU. Yeah, CPU is definitely loaded, but it's not the bottleneck here. And I fell. I'm fine. I just slipped. Where are you at? Oh, I saw him too late though. Saw him way too late. Yeah, so the 7900 XTX here, really struggling, guys. Getting about average here, about 15 FPS average. 1% lows if it even matters, is at 11 FPS. So, all right, back in the settings here again. So that was a utter fail. The AMD Radeon RX 7900 XTX basically giving us about 15 FPS average there. So. Atrocious is the word we're probably looking for here. Let's go ahead and try some upscaling. I'm not going to turn down ray tracing, and I'm not going to turn down settings yet. Let's go ahead and adjust upscaling instead. So again, we're using FSR3, and we're going to go from native to quality. Let's see if we can at least maybe get above 30 FPS. Is that possible with quality? I don't think we're getting 60, guys, with these settings, but we're going to give it a shot. Let's go ahead and jump back into the game and see how it goes. All right, we are in the game. And yep, looks like with quality, we are getting better FPS than before. We are already in the 30s, so that's good. This is again FSR3 Quality. Took it out from the behind. It's FSR3 Quality here, ray tracing high, and settings maxed out. Playing 4K, of course, so it's upscaling to 4K, and we're about a 29 FPS average right now. Ooh. Okay, stop staring at Afterburner. Play the game, right? So this is a much better performance here. I probably can't blame the choppy FPS anymore for my lack of skill. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Just crouch. I mean, we're not hitting 30 FPS, so can I still blame FPS for my horrible aim? I'm gonna go with it. But yeah, so far, I mean, it's definitely smoother. The frame time graph is not really going to reflect that. No, sorry guy, didn't mean to shoot you. Just looking in the distance.
Hostile care package above.
CPU utilization here at about 20%. GPU utilization when in game, we're about, we are at 100%. There he is. Yeah, it's definitely much smoother. I don't feel like, oh, come on. Oh, I don't feel like it's a nauseating mess anymore. So, you know, if you're happy with, below 30 FPS on average here, if you're happy with that, I mean, I guess, you can play it this way. But perhaps we'll go ahead and try with some more aggressive upscaling. We'll go to balanced and see if we can get, if there's anything we can do to get near 60. Again, we're playing at 4K, everything maxed out, including ray tracing. So, we want to know, can we get there? But replay. But yeah, so right now, again, average about 28 FPS average, 23 FPS for the 1% lows. GPU is still the bottleneck here. CPU utilization is not too bad. So we'll go ahead and give it another try with some proper upscaling. We'll go ahead and go to balanced, and we'll see how it goes from there.
Enemy UAV detected.
All right, so that was with FSR3 Quality, ray tracing high, all settings maxed out. Let's go ahead and see if we can get some more FPS, because we didn't crack really 30 FPS average. I think it was like 28, 29 FPS average there. So not getting us 30. And we're trying to get to 60, so that's not going to do it. We're not going to use frame generation just yet. So now we're going to go from quality and we'll go to balanced, and we'll see if balanced can give us a better FPS count here.
Team deathmatch.
Team deathmatch. All right, we are getting 45 FPS right now with FSR3 Balanced. So about 10 FPS, 15 FPS more than we were getting before. It's improving, but still not 60. Who's that? Still not 60. CPU utilization, you can see it there. CPU utilization right now is sitting at about 28%. Almost 30% utilized. GPU still 100% utilized.
You are incoming.
That sucks. Got taken out by a drone. Yeah, definitely much smoother. And quality-wise, it still looks fine for, a fast-paced game like this where you're not really trying. You're not really trying, right? You're not really trying to look at the details of the game. Oh. Yeah, I saw him, but it got blurry. Cushion grenade. All right, but again, FPS is about 44 FPS average right now, 34 FPS for the 1% lows. Again, CPU utilization is definitely ticked up now, almost 30% utilized with the i7-13700KF here. My hardware is running at stock. Thanks, whoever helped me with that. My hardware here is running at stock, so no overclocks or anything like that. He just glitched. Is that my ping or is that his? All right, so that was FSR3 with balanced. And now we're going to switch from FSR3 Balanced to FSR3 Performance. Balanced did not get us to 60. So let's go ahead and try Performance. All right, back in the game here with FSR3 Performance. So now we're upscaling from 1080p to 4K. Ray tracing set to high and all settings maxed out. Let's see how it performs. We're still in the 40s. CPU utilization is at 30%, GPU 100%. VRAM though, almost. Why didn't Did we reloading or something? How did that work out?
Hostiles have the hard point.
Hostiles? Hostiles. What the?
Falling behind, Black Ops.
This is what you get when you play in the middle of the afternoon when everybody's at work and school. I think we get a lot of noobs on here like me, so it makes it a little bit easier to play. I am not good. I'm not going to pretend that I'm good. Oh! I think I shot like right over his head or something. See, there's me popping up, and there goes me. But yeah, averaging about 45 FPS average, so we are, even with the performance here, we are not getting any additional FPS, really. Average is remaining similar to what it was with Balanced. Climbed in through there just to get taken out. Yep, there I came in. Yep, we all kind of grouped up together in there. FPS is still, yeah, I mean, actively we're getting about 30, 38, 40 FPS regularly active, 46 FPS on average here. So surprisingly doing pretty bad with frame time. We are not going to hit 60 FPS here, even with doing too much talking, even with FSR3 performance. I was just standing there talking. All right, so let's see how we do here. Final kind of test. Again, 46 FPS average, 36 FPS for the 1% lows. Tracy. Oh, where'd you go? Where'd you go?
Hardpoint locked down.
Oh. All right, so that was FSR3 with performance. Ray tracing set to high, settings maxed out. We did not hit 60 FPS, to be quite honest. We're probably very similar, if not dead on identical to Balanced, FSR3 Balanced. So again, with all those settings maxed out, including ray tracing, doesn't look like the 7900 XTX is going to give us 60 FPS in this game. But let's go ahead and turn off ray tracing now and see if our performance improves. All right, we've gone ahead and we're going to turn off ray tracing, and we're also going to set us back to FSR3 native. All right, FSR3 native, and back to no ray tracing off. So let's see if without ray tracing, is ray tracing our bottleneck? I mean, I'm going to guess yes, but let's go ahead and test it and see what happens. All right, we are now playing with ray tracing turned off, FSR3 set to native, and we are in the 60s. We're hitting 60 FPS now, or above 60 FPS. Some areas lower.
We have the EMP. Overload device successfully delivered.
Doing pretty good.
Located new overload device.
He didn't see me. I was trying to get him, but he was moving too fast. We are getting 60 FPS now. So right now we are doing pretty good. 68 FPS on on active, and about 64 FPS average, 54 FPS for the 1% lows there. CPU utilization is back down into below 30% utilized anyway. GPU utilization is about 98 to 100% utilized. But yeah, with ray tracing is definitely the issue. The 7900 XTX really struggling with ray tracing set to high. But in a game like this, you'd kind of you'd really wonder, like, do you even use ray tracing for graphics? You're trying to see enemies. You're not really looking at your reflection in the mirror, although I probably would, because it's how I roll, and it's also how I die in this game. There he is. I just saw that guy fly. Okay. Reload. Bullets.
Hostiles have the EMP.
Oh, whoa. Should have stayed along the wall. Ah, yeah, he was watching me. There I go. Watched me run like a fool. I have a 64 FPS average and 51 FPS for the 1% lows. Again, CPU utilization is doing pretty well. All right, that was FSR3 native with ray tracing off, and we got well above, well, you know, mostly above 60 FPS, about 63, 64 FPS average there. That was ray tracing off, and everything else still set to max, and that, of course, would mean we were playing at 4K native. Let's go ahead now and switch to some upscaling. So let's go ahead and switch to quality, and we'll see if how much farther above 60 FPS quality will give us. All right, we are back in the game here with FSR3 Quality now. Ray tracing turned completely off, and settings set to max, and we're already in the 90s, high 90s, even hundreds now with FPS. So there you go. This is already getting us very close to high refresh zone. Somebody coming around that corner. There he goes.
The guild reclaimed the lead.
Oh, again, same mistake, right? Reloading while playing? No, that is naughty. Don't do that. Anyway, I did get that guy though. Let's get out of this death room. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Thanks for covering my back. Oh, I got stuck on the ledge. Watch, you can see me get stuck. I also didn't move fast enough. I was like, oh, grenade, oh. All right, but average FPS right now, about 108. Whoop. Oh, nope. Where are you at?
Heads up. Hostile scout pulse.
Couldn't lock onto him. All right, average FPS about 107. CPU utilization at about 40%, utilized 45, 44% utilization here, definitely high 30s, and GPU utilization about 98%, 94%, so the 7900 XTX giving us well over 100 FPS here, but the load's been taken off a little bit from it. The CPU is definitely seeing much higher load. Did I get him too anyway? No, it doesn't look like it. Nope, didn't even, I don't know, yeah, no, didn't work. Why didn't my buddy help me out there? All right, that was FSR3 with quality, and it got us well over 100 FPS. It did put quite a bit of load on the CPU though, so the i7-13700KF regularly showing well over 40% utilized there. So let's go ahead and try now going from quality to balanced, see if we can get over 120 FPS, so high refresh rate territory, using FSR3 balanced and ray tracing turned off. All right, we are now in FSR3 balanced mode, and initially already we're well over 100 FPS again, averaging really close to 120 FPS. CPU utilization will probably jump up here, but again about 30, probably 40% utilized just as before with quality. GPU, the 7900 XTX sitting at 100%, 99% utilized.
Hardpoint locked down. The advantage is ours. Hold it. Hostile personnel have captured the hardpoint. We control the hardpoint.
Just looking through the window. But yeah, we're getting 120 FPS average now, and 122, 120 FPS actively. 1% lows are pretty low at 86 FPS for the 1% lows.
Control the hardpoint.
Yeah, so this is definitely high refresh rate territory. If you got a monitor that can handle that, basically just using FSR3 with balanced and ray tracing, of course, turned off.
Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down.
Enemy drone bot.
Hardpoint locked down.
This is a really good performance, a very good showing here. Shame that we did have to go all the way to balanced, FSR3 balanced with a 4K monitor. And, you know, settings maxed out, but ray tracing turned off. We still needed to go to FSR3. FSR3 balanced, even.
Hostile personnel have captured the hardpoint. Hostile skewer inbound.
Where you at? Where you at? There you are.
Hardpoint located.
Oh, geez, really run out of bullets then?
Hardpoint active. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Anybody? Anybody left? Alright guys, so that was AMD's FSR3 balanced, and we saw that with ray tracing turned off we were getting about 128 FPS average, a significant boost over AMD's FSR3 performance with ray tracing on, where we saw average FPS about 46 average FPS. So what's that, about 3 times performance boost with ray tracing off? Pretty impressive there. So if you're playing this game and you don't care about ray tracing, turn it off for sure. But let's go ahead now and try performance. Now, performance is going to give us an FPS at an internal resolution at 1080p, upscaling it to 4K here. So we'll see how this runs and how it looks. All right, we are back in the game here with FSR3 performance, ray tracing turned off, settings maxed out, and we are hitting 140 FPS right off the bat with performance, so well into the high refresh rate zone. CPU utilization about over 50% utilized, 99% utilization on the GPU. So the 7900 XTX, let's pay attention. 7900 XTX is definitely giving us some good FPS here, but again, internal, oh, there he is. So internal resolution is 1080p, again upscaling it to 4K.
Personnel have captured the hardpoint.
There's somebody over there.
Skewer release detected. Focus. Hostile scout pulse nearby.
Oh. Oh. Oh, that's frustrating. All right, but anyway, so FPS about 141 average and 90 FPS for the 1% lows there, and 90 FPS average for the 1% lows. CPU utilization again above 50%, getting close to 60% utilization, and the GPU of course at 100%. So what if we want to get a little bit more FPS than this? We're going to go ahead and give it a go ahead and give frame generation a try now and see how we can perform.
You want to explain this to the board? Turn this around.
All right, so that was FSR3 with FSR3 performance. So what we're going to test now is we're going to actually switch it all the way back to quality, FSR3 quality, because FSR3 quality saw us get us above 60 FPS, but it's keeping the internal render resolution higher, so we get a better image, I would expect. And what we're going to now do is actually turn on frame generation. We're leaving ray tracing off. All right, so with frame generation on, let's go ahead and see how FSR3 quality performs. All right, we are in the game now here with FSR3 quality and frame generation enabled. Ray tracing is turned off, settings at max, and we are well over 100 FPS, well over 120 FPS now.
We control zone C. We have the lead. Maintain current posture. Securing B.
Gameplay's pretty smooth.
Bravo capture underway. Bravo. Bravo lost.
Bravo lost. So yeah, right now we're getting about 100 and almost 160 FPS average here. CPU utilization is okay.
We're losing Charlie.
All right. Well, CPU utilization is about 40%. GPU utilization about 9900%.
EKIA.
Target ID'd.
Oh. Oh well.
Losing A.
Oh, okay. I wasn't gonna win against that guy.
Enemy care package detected overhead.
But yeah, so again, 160 FPS average with frame generation and 90 FPS, about 100 FPS for the 1% lows. So doing pretty good. I would say if you're looking for that high FPS, you can go with quality. Quality already without ray tracing was giving us well over 100 FPS. So turning on frame generation is not going to double our FPS, but it certainly gave us well over 120. Take him out. Come on. There you go. There you go down. All right, he's taking off. All right, and now in this one, we're going to go ahead and test FSR3 performance with frame generation. Now with FSR3 performance, with ray tracing off, without frame generation, we're already getting FPS well over 100 FPS, actually getting about 141 average. So we're going to see how frame generation gets us, what frame generation gets us. Can we get over 200 FPS with performance mode? Let's test it out. All right, so with, is that?
Overload.
Does that look right?
Eyes up.
That's
System's
about
hot.
shimmer
We're not
right
here for
there.
a
I
tour.
think that's supposed to look like that right there. All right,
We
but
have the EMP.
so minus the really bad upscaling quality
Enemies are
here
carrying the EMP.
with FSR3 performance and frame generation enabled, ray tracing off, settings at max. We're getting
Picked up the device.
really close to 200 FPS, but I think we're pushing it a little too hard here. Getting some high FPS, but we're also getting, oops, that's not what I want to do. Okay,
Protect our
that's fine.
zones. They have the overload device.
We're definitely getting some really
Also
bad
have the
shimmers
overload
here
device.
with FSR3. Oh, why am I not even aiming at him? Oh. But anyway, 200 FPS average, 118 FPS with 1% lows.
Secure the new device.
CPU utilization just below 50% utilized. Probably gets hit 50 when you get closer to a lot of enemies. GPU sitting at
We picked up the EMP.
100% utilized, 99% utilization, right? So,
VTOL warship on
but again,
approach.
I wouldn't say this is the best performing. I mean, obviously high FPS, but not. I wouldn't consider this to be usable. Oh, it's usable, but you know, there's a lot of shimmering going on, so you might get distracted by that. Okay, so the final test we're going to run here is with FSR3, and we're going to use native upscaling. No upscaling at all, actually, so just native FSR3. And we're going to use frame generation with it. With FSR3 native, we got just above 60 FPS on average. So we're going to try to test this now without any upscaling. As we saw with performance there, we got well over 200 FPS, but we were also seeing a lot of artifacts with the upscaling method. So we're going to use no upscaling this time to see if we get a better quality picture, but also really good frame rates. Can we get maybe over 100 FPS? Let's give it a try. All right, back in the game here. Again, this is now FSR3 native, no ray tracing, and maxed out settings with frame generation
Kill
enabled.
confirmed.
And we've got
They
90
know we're
FPS
here.
right
Roll
now.
out, Black Ops.
90 FPS so far actively, 93 FPS. This is a new map for me, so let's see how well I can do.
Reclaim the lead.
There he goes. Who was shooting? Oh, my whole team got taken out. Oh man. Okay. Whoa. Oh. Surprised I got that guy though. Oh, there guys go. Oh, and my buddy too. Jeez, we both got taken out. Oh man. All right. But again, about 92 FPS average right now. GPU utilization, the 7900 XTX sitting at about 98, 99% utilized, 100% utilized. CPU utilization is about 33% utilized. So GPU and CPU hit pretty balanced. You want it to be on the load to be on the GPU side. Oops, get out of the way. Thank you. Where'd you go? Why am I doing that? Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh. You know, I think for me personally, this is probably the way I would play the game. I doubt I would try to use ray tracing. I mean, what's the point of it in a game like this where, you know, if you're looking at reflections and things like that, you're not playing the game right. You're going to get your butt handed to you in this game. Not that I'm having any trouble with getting my butt handed to me anyway. All right, so again, 93 FPS average, 56 FPS for the 1% lows, so that's pretty good. And again, this is native FSR3 with ray tracing turned off and max settings on everything else. So we're playing at 4K at least. You can say we're actually playing at 4K. All right, so that was our benchmark run here with the 7900 XTX versus the latest Call of Duty Black Ops 7 game. We tested 4K ray tracing on, and we could not get to 60 FPS no matter what upscaler we used. It just looked like we hit a wall with ray tracing. The GPU 7900 XTX and the processor Intel i7 13700KF couldn't get us there. Again, with ray tracing on and everything maxed out, we were seeing really the best we could get was about 46 FPS average with FSR3 performance. With ray tracing turned off, the experience was a lot better. Right out of the gate at 4K native, no ray tracing, but everything else maxed out, we were getting 64 FPS average. With the upscaling methods with FSR3, quality, balanced, performance, they all saw a really good boost in performance, incrementally going up really nicely, going from 107 with quality, 128 with balanced, and about 142 with the performance, 142 FPS with performance there. And then throwing frame generation on top of those, we were seeing with quality, we were getting into about 160 FPS average, and with performance and frame generation on, we were seeing well over 200 FPS, about 200 FPS average, but we saw more than 200 FPS actively. And again, with native, about 93 FPS average with FSR3 native and frame generation. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a like, and feel free to comment down below. And if you don't want to miss any upcoming videos, don't forget to subscribe. I'm Mr. MCP76. We'll see you guys later.